In the enchanting realm of magics, where magic flowed like the gentle breeze and vibrant colors painted the sky, the Winx Club found themselves in a moment of unexpected turmoil. One sunny afternoon, as golden rays of light danced through the leaves, a sudden knock resounded through the halls of their dorm. Bloom, with her fiery hair cascading like a waterfall, approached the door, curiosity sparkling in her eyes. Who could it be? She wondered aloud, glancing at her friends, Stella, Flora, Musa, Tekna, and Aisha, who gathered around her with bated breath. When the door swung open, a majestic figure stood there. Samson, a lion with a mane that glistened like spun gold in the sunlight. "I need to see my son," he declared, his voice a deep rumble that echoed with desperation. Bloom, sensing the tension, replied gently, "Samson, he's not in any of our dorms." "Kovu has taken him away," Samson roared, frustration boiling beneath his fur. "I know he's with Ryan," Stella chimed in, her voice steady yet sympathetic. "You won't find him here. He's better off without you." The room fell silent. The weight of her words hung in the air, filled with the lingering scent of blooming flowers and unspoken truths. As Samson dashed into the forest, his heart thumped loudly in his chest, calling out for his son. "Ryan! Ryan!" His voice pierced the serene atmosphere, disturbing a nearby wolf named Luke. "Can you keep it down? You're making my ears bleed," Luke growled. "Is your son named Ryan?" he asked, sensing the urgency in Samson's tone. "Yes, have you seen him?" Samson pleaded. Luke pointed towards a clearing. "I saw him with Kovu. They went that way." Meanwhile, in the dimly lit theater, Ryan and Kovu were lost in laughter, sharing stories and dreams. "Have you ever been to this place?" Ryan asked, his eyes sparkling with excitement. "No, this is my first time," Kovu replied, grinning, unaware of the storm brewing outside. Suddenly the theater door burst open, and Samson charged in, panic-stricken. "Give me my son back," he demanded, his voice a mixture of authority and fear. Kovu, unfazed, shot back. "That would be a no. You will not see him again." The tension escalated, the air thickening with unspoken emotions, as Bloom and the Winx Club rushed to Samson's side. "Samson, you're not being a good father to Ryan. That's why Kovu took him away," Bloom urged, her heart aching for the lost bond between father and son. But Samson wouldn't relent. "I'm not leaving without my son," he shouted defiantly. Flora intervened, her gentle nature shining through. "Ryan doesn't deserve to be left behind. You need to understand that, Samson." Musa added, "You should leave while you can. He's better off without you." In that moment of heightened emotions, Bloom's magic surged within her. "Okay, you asked for it," she declared, invoking her spell. But in a tragic twist, the spell missed its target, hitting Ryan instead. Panic filled the room as Ryan cried out in pain, his voice piercing through the chaos. "I just wanted to have a fun outing. Is that too much to ask?" he sobbed, running out of the theater, tears streaming down his cheeks. The Winx stood in shock, their hearts heavy with regret as they watched Ryan flee. They exchanged glances, realizing the depth of their actions. The warmth of friendship had turned cold in the blink of an eye. Samson, too, felt the weight of his mistakes. "Ryan!" he called out, his voice trembling with fear and sadness. He rushed after his son, his heart pounding like a drum. Outside, the night air was crisp, filled with the earthy scent of damp leaves. As Samson finally found Ryan, hidden beneath an ancient tree, tears glistening on his cheeks like morning dew, Samson approached cautiously, nuzzling his son gently. "It's okay, Ryan. I've got you." "I'm sorry for everything," he whispered, the warmth of his love wrapping around Ryan like a protective blanket. In that moment, amidst the shadows of the forest and the sorrow that enveloped them, the bond of father and son began to heal. They sat together, the world around them fading away, as Samson vowed to be the father Ryan deserved. The night was still, but the air was filled with the promise of a better tomorrow, where love could mend the wounds of the past. In the magical realm of magics, a vibrant place where fairies flourished and adventure hummed in the air, The Winx Club was gathered at Althea, their beloved school. The sun filtered through the leaves, casting playful shadows on the ground, as Bloom, Stella, Flora, Musa, Tekna, and Aisha were engrossed in their usual activities. The serene ambiance was suddenly pierced by an unexpected sound, a cacophony of stark beats and garish lyrics spilling from a nearby hallway. Curiosity sprouted among them like wildflowers in spring, and with furrowed brows and sidelong glances, they wondered, who could be responsible for such an auditory fence? "What in the world is that music coming from?" Bloom asked, her voice a blend of disbelief and annoyance. And who on earth would choose to listen to something so distasteful? Her friends nodded in agreement, sharing her irritation, yet intrigued enough to investigate the source. Flora, with her acute sense for melodies, chimed in. "I think the song is Get Low by Lil Jon and the East Side Boys, featuring Yin Yang Twins. It's quite distinctive." The Winx ventured closer, their footsteps unconsciously synchronizing with the infectious rhythm echoing through the corridor. As they approached the door, Musa couldn't help but express her disapproval. "It's definitely Get Low, and whoever is playing it seems to have no sense of good music taste." Aisha, her keen ears catching some unsavory words in the track, added, "Not only is the music itself terrible, but I can hear some less than flattering language in the lyrics. Whoever is in that room has very questionable taste in both music and language." Each step they took intensified their collective frustration, and Bloom shook her head in disbelief. Great. Not only are they blasting us on with awful lyrics, but now we have to deal with bad language as well. Whoever is behind that door is clearly testing my last nerve. At last, they stood before the door of doom, the raucous music thumping like a heartbeat. Tegna's usually calm demeanor cracked as she huffed. "Well, this is it, the source of the musical torture and bad language. Let's find out who the culprit is and put an end to this auditory nightmare." With irritation and resolve, they pushed open the door, ready to confront the mystery person responsible for this chaos. The door swung open dramatically, revealing a figure at the center of the room. Vance, the mischievous fox known for his cheeky pranks and carefree spirit, stood there with headphones on, blissfully unaware of the storm he had stirred. The Winx gaped, a mixture of surprise, annoyance, and curiosity flashing across their faces. Bloom was the first to break the silence, her tone dripping with sarcasm. "Well, look who we have here. The mastermind behind the terrible music taste and choice of words." Vance glanced back, a cheeky smirk spreading across his face as he responded, "You girls seem upset." The Winx were taken aback by his nonchalant demeanor. "Upset? Try annoyed beyond belief." Bloom crossed her arms defiantly. "That music you were playing is a travesty of good taste." Musa jumped in, her sass ignited. "And don't get us started on the language. You do realize we have standards for decency, right? Or are bad words just your default mode?" Tekna, ever the rational thinker, pointed out the obvious. "Besides the musical atrocities and linguistic faux pas, there's also the simple matter of volume. Do you forget headphones exist? Or do you enjoy spreading your poor taste in music far and wide?" With a determined glint in her eyes, Bloom pressed on. "Vance, that song you were playing was more than just kinda inna. It was a crime against music, and a violation of our eardrums." "But I suppose that's just your modus operandi, isn't it? Creating musical chaos wherever you go?" The room was filled with an awkward silence, punctuated by the fading echoes of the horrid song. Vance's expression morphed from cheeky confidence to sheepishness, realizing the impact of his actions. The Winx, though initially caught in a whirlwind of annoyance, saw a glimmer of potential in Vance's playful spirit. With laughter bubbling beneath the surface, they decided that perhaps, just perhaps, they could guide him toward better musical choices, instead of simply scolding him. With newfound determination, Bloom proposed, "How about we help you discover some real music? Time to turn this auditory nightmare into a symphony of magic." And with that, the Winx Club transformed a moment of conflict into an opportunity for friendship, laughter, and the promise of better tunes to come, filling Alfea with harmonious melodies that resonated through the magical realm of magics. Once upon a time, in the magical realm of magics, the air shimmered with enchantment, and vibrant colors danced across the sky. The sun cast a golden glow on the landscape, illuminating the charming homes and lush gardens where the Winx Club resided. Bloom, the fiery leader with her flowing red hair, sat in a cozy nook surrounded by her friends, Stella, Flora, Musa, Tekna, and Aisha. They were deep into their afternoon when a familiar voice broke through their conversation. "Hey, Ryan, what's going on?" Bloom called out, her curiosity piqued by the lion cub's sudden call. Ryan's voice crackled through the magical communication device, laced with urgency. "It's Kiara. She's pretending to be a Power Ranger and is about to fight Scar. Can you believe it?" A collective gasp echoed among the Winx. Bloom raised an eyebrow in disbelief, her heart racing. "Wait, Kiara is pretending to be a Power Ranger, and she's planning to take on Scar? Does she not realize how ridiculous that sounds?" Stella, ever the one to add humor to the direst of situations, leaned back with a smirk. Well, clearly, Kiara's not exactly winning any awards for genius strategies. Pretending to be a Power Ranger is a bit imaginative, and facing off against Scar? That's textbook reckless. Musa shook her head, her brow furrowed in concern. Not to mention, Scar is pretty much the epitome of dangerous. Kiara's really asking for a world of pain with this plan, or maybe a world of stupidity. Whichever comes first. Tekna chimed in, her voice a blend of logic and exasperation. From a logical standpoint, this whole situation is absurd and needlessly risky. Kiara's decision is, quite frankly, a recipe for disaster. It's a wonder she didn't think it through before charging into this harebrained plan. Aisha sighed, her tone laced with practicality. Let me guess, she's not even bothering with a plan B, charging into danger without an escape route or backup. It's like she's trying to win the trophy for most reckless decision ever made. Ryan, sensing the seriousness of the situation, added, "You girls might be right. Stupid is as stupid goes. If she controlled a Megazord, she'd probably fall out of it. Know what I mean?" The Winx couldn't help but chuckle at Ryan's remark, a mix of amusement and worry filling the air. Bloom stifled a laugh, replying, "You've got a point there, Ryan. If Kiara can't even control her decision-making. Controlling a Megazord sounds like a disaster waiting to happen. She'd probably end up tangled in the controls." Stella joined in, mischievously grinning. "Oh, the image of Kiara tumbling out of a Megazord is priceless. I can just picture it now. A perfect demonstration of why she should leave the saving the day acts to those with a teensy bit more grace and coordination." With laughter still lingering in the air, the Winx hurriedly flew to the Pride Lands, their hearts pounding with a mix of concern and excitement. As they arrived, they witnessed a chaotic scene. Kiara had indeed managed to get herself into a predicament, literally falling out of the Megazord. In a split second, Bloom's instincts kicked in. Without hesitation, she cast a shimmering shielding spell around Kiara, enveloping her in a protective barrier as she began to descend. The Winx watched in breathless silence, relief flooding over them as Kiara landed safely within Bloom's enchantment. As the dust settled, Bloom let out a sigh, her heart still racing. "Looks like our suspicions were right. Kiara's recklessness knows no bounds. Thankfully, I was able to put up a shield in time. Can you even imagine the headache if she'd actually gotten injured from that fall?" Musa shook her head, her expression serious. "It's a miracle she didn't get seriously hurt. Falling out of a Megazord is a sure way to get yourself a one-way ticket to the hospital, or worse. Kiara needs to start using her head more, if she has any brain cells left after that stunt." Bloom turned to Kiara, her voice the mix of concern and frustration. "Kiara, I have to say this. Stop watching Power Rangers. It's clearly affecting your decision-making abilities and turning you into a walking disaster zone. Seriously, I'm not sure what's worse. Emulating a TV show, or the fact it's influencing you to do ridiculously dangerous things." The weight of the moment hung in the air like a heavy cloud, but the warmth of friendship and concern for one another shone brightly in the hearts of the Winx Club. Together, they vowed to keep each other safe and support one another in their adventures, no matter how reckless they might be.